WTO is associated with long talks, various tariffs, customs quotas, imports and exports, as well as with other terms which our consumers sometimes do not understand. The task of WTO market program is to break all the barriers between buyers and sellers because we know everything about the prices. How did the crisis affect toy business in Kazakhstan? Why domestic toy production remains to be low performing? China is the world's principal supplier of toys. In 2017, Lego produced an interactive construction set for primary school-aged children. Kids assemble robots and, like programmers, animate them by means of smartphones or Android tablet apps. Since recently, the countries of the Eurasian Economic Union banned the sale and distribution of some children's toys, especially those with unfastened, super-strong small-size magnets. IKEA continues producing series of soft toys based on children's sketches. Some part of the profit received by the company for these strange but lovely monsters is used for charity purposes. The legal toy market in Kazakhstan is estimated at $200 million. The illegal market reaches approximately $1 billion. It is clear that parents do not save on children and will always buy them the best things. Earlier, they mainly asked for the cheapest toys, independently on their quality. By now, this trend has changed. The crisis forced many parents to revise their attitude towards buying of toys. Nowadays, they want not only to save their money, but also buy certified and high-quality goods, mainly of educative character. Children give preference to those toys which are being advertised through cartoons, TV programs and computer games, and we want to buy for our children something that would educate them. The key feature of the toy market in Kazakhstan is that, according to experts, 98% of its goods are imported. The country lacks domestic toy manufacturers, and in the strong competitive environment, it is very difficult for them to promote their products. We are not talking about mass production. In our case, we rather imply piece production. Toy Bala is a very good manufacturer. It emerged on the market long time ago, and its goods are worth selling not only in our country, but also abroad. Toy Bala manufactures toys by means of a 3D printer. In fact, these are custom-made goods. This technology allows to study children's demand and produce unique toys with various educational purposes. Our competitive advantage is that we develop our own design and new opportunities of these toys. We provide them with 3 or 4 functions instead of one, and this raises interest not only among purchasers but also among final consumers we're working for. The main problem of Kazakhstani toy manufacturers is the remoteness from the source of raw materials. This fact is recognized by sellers and producers. Plastic, fabrics, synthetic padding, accessories such as buttons, sequins and many other things are bought abroad. Manufacturing any kind of toy requires certain materials which we have to buy in foreign countries. In all kinds of ways, we are a sort of domestic producers who use imported materials. Due to the present price policy, it is much easier and cheaper for us to import toys. The price of raw materials and transportation costs increase the price of finished products. In addition, the vast territory of Kazakhstan and low population density create additional logistic expenses inside the country, and there is also one more difficulty. Of course, marketing and branding are weak in this area of production. In other words, our manufacturers produce goods, put them on shelves, but customers do not buy them. The reason for that can be, for example, an unattractive package. As a result, customers do not pay much attention to these goods. How did Kazakhstan's accession to the WTO affect the market and production of toys? Experts say that until our toy market becomes export-oriented, no progress can be expected. The thing is that toy production is a diversified business. Firstly, it depends on the market of raw materials, polymers, textiles and many other things. Secondly, its future to some extent depends on the customs union, which automatically expands the market. Most of goods in toy shops of Kazakhstan are imported. According to the Ministry of Investment and Development of Kazakhstan, in 2016, toy imports to the country reached $71 million. China, which is thought to be producing up to 90% of all toys in the world, is the principal supplier of children's goods. China is the main importer of children's toys. Notably, for the last 5 years, its share reduced by 15%. At the same time, the proportion of children's goods from Russia and Belarus has significantly increased since 2010. In 2016, the proportion of toys in Kazakhstan imported from China reached 52%. Toys imported from Russia made up 42%. Over the last 5 years, the toy market of Kazakhstan has undergone significant changes, experts say. The percentage of online sales is increasing year by year. Currently, it exceeds 10% of the total number of online orders. However, the key metaphors relate to structural changes of the market. On the one hand, the share of grey import is reducing. On the other hand, the structure of toy supplier is changing. New players emerge and old players start to reconstruct their business processes and logistics. All that is closely bound with the customs union. Hopefully, thanks to all these processes, selling of toxic and uncertified goods for children in our country will become impossible. Indeed, the most important issue which raises a concern among parents is toy safety. In most cases, claims are laid to Chinese products. In 2016, 15% of children's goods in Kazakhstan were recognized as toxic. 33% of toys did not answer the quality criteria. Our goods compete with Chinese ones because China tries to keep up with the fashion. The Chinese are well informed what things would be interesting for their children or what new things their country can produce more rapidly than Russia or Europe. Therefore, it is very difficult to compete with China. We import Chinese toys and all they have a certificate. However, their quality is lower, for example, in comparison with toys made in Russia. In spite of difficulties and tough competition, domestic manufacturers of toys see a bright future for their goods at home and abroad. We are looking forward to sell our goods not only in CIS countries, but also in Europe, in the US and Asia. Such plans are quite adequate. We understand that if we don't look ahead, in the long term, we'll not be developing. Yes, we want a lot, we have ambitious plans, and we work to implement them. How to determine whether the quality certificate of a toy is genuine? What toys will soon become the most popular in the world? Will toy safety technical regulations of the customs union be amended? The principal rule we should follow when purchasing toys is to require a conformity certificate. Today's consumers are highly competent and will never buy their children uncertified toys. But sellers are also very watchful and therefore can attach a false certificate to a false toy. Now let's make it clear how to determine a genuine certificate. A certificate should necessarily contain name and address of authority issued the certificate, registration number of the certificate and its period of validity, product code, protocol numbers of chemical and physical testing, and reference to the safety certificate. The certificate should also contain the information about the product name, its purpose, manufacturer, country of origin, and age restrictions. Kazakhstan is still known at the toy market only as a consumer. Interests of our children and parents do not differ from those in other countries. Like in all parts of the world, the most popular toys in Kazakhstan are Disney, Lego and Playmobil. The most in-demand toys are construction sets, toy cars and puppets. Since recently, we can clearly distinguish two trends. The first is the increasing interactivity by means of various computer games and the internet and the attempt to unite the physical and virtual worlds. The second is the license market. Children and their parents tend to buy only games with the image of their beloved cartoon or fairy tale character. Last year, the Ministry of National Economy of Kazakhstan took the role of the developer of amendments in the customs union's toy safety technical regulations. According to the proposed amendments, toys should be subjected to the psychological and pedagogical expertise. It will help to eliminate toys which negatively affect health and development of children and provoke in them aggression and fear. However, American manufacturers opposed this initiative. They believe that there is still no scientific evidence that a toy can be dangerous for a child's mental well-being. And according to the WTO agreement, American manufacturers, for their part, are entitled to respond to proposed amendments to the EU technical regulations.